What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Back in the garage. I was going on a work trip for about 5 weeks, however. We're back now. Streetcar takeover in Rockingham is in 2 weeks. Actually, less than 2 weeks. And just like last time, the car is still not ready. However, unlike last time when we missed streetcar takeover in Charlotte a few months ago, we're in a much better spot now. The car runs. We got the engine in, so we're not rebuilding an engine. Transmission's in, all that stuff's in. However, there's still a few things we have left to do. But here's kind of a quick update on all the things we got done. Of course, rebuilt the engine, new pistons, bearings, head and main studs. Oh yeah, had to get a ton of machine work done. I had to re-sleeve, rebore, a few things. Intercooler and stuff's back in. Got headlights put in off camera today. So I actually got the engine running right before I left. Now, like 5 weeks ago. A few things we still have left to do is I've got to get the clutch line put back in. I actually have to replace the clutch line. No big deal. Got one from Chase Bays. Once again, anything hydraulic fluid, I go through Chase Bays. Those guys are awesome. Unsponsored, but they make great products. Got to bleed and drain the clutch. So anyway, I've talked enough. Let's see, we're looking at 15 days. 13 days into a streetcar takeover. Let's see if we can get it done. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is replace this clutch line. This is actually the new one from Chase Bays. They actually make these specifically for BMW E46 running a 2JZ. So, super high quality. The only reason I'm replacing it is because I tried to pull the engine out with mine still attached and it kinked a little bit. But for the sake of time, I just went ahead and ordered a new one, and we'll throw this one in there. All right, so you guys can kind of see the kink that I have in the line there. So that's what it looks like. This is what it's supposed to look like. So obviously, not in the best condition. So we're going to drop this in there. I think they might have actually changed it just a little bit since I ordered the first one. Let's start by just feeding this through. Trying to get in there. It actually goes under the carpet in the car. Alright, so here's where the old line is. There should be a clip on there. I think I may have taken it off already. That or I just never put it on. There it is. Let me grab a pick. There we go. I got way too much crap down here. This is gonna be messy. There we go. Boom. Take that one out. Get a new one. Pop that one right in. Find that clip. Anyway, you get the point. I gotta find that little clip, clip it back in, and we're good on this side of the line. Next up, we're gonna go underneath and pop in the actual threaded end into the slave cylinder. Now it's just getting this line around into here. And we'll try to find the best way to feed that. Alright, so new plan. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the slave cylinder out and then thread it in that way. It's gotta come out to bleed it anyway. So yeah, we're just gonna try that instead. Well, it's at least a month later for me. Luckily just a few seconds later for you guys. But we're finally ready to go and throw the new slave cylinder back into the car. The reason it took so long? Well, we had an unexpected project, and just like all projects that happen here, things got out of hand way too quickly. But we're kind of at a good pausing point for that now. We're gonna go ahead and hop back up on the BMW. I did get a new downpipe in, tighten up the power steering. We had a little leak on that, a few other things. So now we kind of got to address the next big issue, and it's being able to put this car in gear and actually drive it. So, for starters, got a new slave cylinder from Sachs. Got my tool to bleed the slave cylinder, just because I don't have anybody here to work with me to get in there and kind of pump the clutch and all that stuff. Got a new grommet. And the reason I got a new grommet is because, get out of there. If you look on the old one, the old line, things kind of got torn, where it's just kind of dragging on that sheet metal down there. And I kind of just don't want that to happen to the new line. As you can see, it is braided down there. This is the chase base line. It is braided, so it's probably fine, even without the grommet. But, you know, they put a lot of time and work into their products, and it clearly shows, and I want to keep it kind of neat. So we're gonna try the grommet, and if the grommet doesn't work, then oh well, we're in the same place we were before I pulled the engine off. That's really all that's needed for this. Oh, I did get the clip for inside to hook the slave cylinder or the clutch line up to the master cylinder. Yeah, other than that, we're just gonna hop onto the car, pull the old slave cylinder off, get the new one on there, fill up our reservoir with some brake fluid, some .4 brake fluid, bleed the slave cylinder, pop that back into the back of the bell housing, and it should be good to go from there. Probably run through the gears a little bit, slap my new battery in there, top off the cooling, and this list just got really long. One thing at a time. Slave cylinder first. Alright, so I know it's pretty dark under there. Hopefully you guys can still see. This is the easy part. That's off. Yeah, this was stripped out pretty bad in there. I don't know if the camera's going to catch it. But we were stripped out pretty bad, which is why this one needed to go. So, get that one out of there. Next up, I'm going to slide our grommet on. Just our clutch hydraulic line grommet. I forget there's only so many clutch hydraulic lines on the E46, so this is probably the right one. I'm gonna slide it up there for now. get it out of the way. Back it off just a little bit so that everything stays in line for when it's time to plug that in there. Alright, so that's that. Next up, we're going to fill that reservoir back up with some DOT4 brake fluid. And if you're unfamiliar with BMWs, yep, it's not clutch fluid in there. The clutch is actually run off brake fluid pulled directly from the brake reservoir. Here's a little peek at our project here. That's what's left of my wife's old car. Wasn't planning on it, but we had to buy a new one because well, you know what? Go ahead and check out the video of our unexpected project and you'll find out everything what happened and why this one no longer has an engine. Let's see how bad I screw this up. Close that off. I'm probably going to have to top that off several more times throughout the bleeding process. So I'm willing to bet there's a ton of air, not only in the clutch line, but in all 4 brake lines as well. Next up, like this. Just a little. So we got the clutch line in and just in time because the weather is getting really cold out now and it's really been keeping me from getting out and working on the car outside. Now when the car was inside the garage, it's a different story. But since it's kind of parked out in the driveway now, it's getting a little bit harder to find the motivation to work on it, especially with any events coming up soon to try to make a deadline for. But we're not going to stop altogether. We are really, really close to getting this done. So